Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Is that good? Okay. All right, let's try that again. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to, not only is this the first Rhyme and Line for 2025, we are also celebrating the official launch of Light Salt and Wet Soil, our very first poetry anthology. I am incredibly proud of the work that went into making this book possible, so I want to make sure that I give all the thank yous that I need to, first and foremost, to the truly driving force. One of the first driving forces behind this book is, of course, our poets. This would not be possible without our poets. Everybody that has visited the gallery, graced our microphone, graced the gallery with your presence. Thank you. Whether it was in person, whether it was virtually, this is really a space that we've been able to craft together. And I really want to take the time to thank all of you for the time that you put into this space. I also want to make a huge thank you to Mr. Thomas Lynch and the Lynch and Sons Foundation. Mr. Lynch is a very good friend of the gallery. He will be here next month. And it was through a charitable donation made by his organization that really got the ball rolling on this book. So I want to make sure to thank him as well. I also want to thank Ms. Jamaica Hamilton. She's no longer on island, but I think that when I first started out as host for Rhyme and Line, I would open by really thanking Jamaica for trusting me with her baby, handing this off to me and trusting me to keep it going and carry it forward. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you again. And everybody that is in this poetry anthology, please note that you will get your first book free. For the time being, we kind of want to try and limit the poet purchases of the book to one for now. I just really want to make sure that all the poets that come tonight can make sure that they get their copy. When we get closer to the end of the night, I'll come back again and we'll talk about what's available. But the books are on sale for $25. But again, if you are in this poetry anthology, your book is free. So, getting into some announcements. So, we're kind of in the early stages of it, but I have basically been given a yes, so that means it's happening. Some of you may remember in 2024, I hosted my first Grief Work Through Poetry workshop. I am proud to announce that we will be doing a second one, and I will be collabing with Mr. Thomas Lynch. We're still planning it out, but I presented the idea, and he said, and I quote, anything that will place me Raven adjacent, I'm down to do it. So, look out on dates on that. That will be a free workshop. We'll be exploring Greek work through poetry. Another announcement that is Greek Project related. The Greek Project is currently hosting a series of USBI art history classes over at the St. John's School of Arts. The first class was last week, Wednesday, and it's going to continue all the way through to February. They are free. They are absolutely free. You'll get to learn the earliest history of the depictions of art here in the Virgin Islands, beginning with Taino, and then we're going to go through and explore different artists, different art styles, different things that have come up in art history of the U.S. Virgin Islands. I highly, highly encourage you to come out. It is free, and Priscilla has worked very, very hard to put together, well, David and Priscilla have worked very hard to put together the curriculum, and it'd be really great if you could support the work that they did. We are working on getting, if you can't make it, we are trying to work on getting those courses filmed so that we have a space where you can watch them in perpetuity. But I really do encourage you to sign up there at the St. John's School of the Arts on Wednesday evenings all the way through February. Last little announcement, the next Rhyme and Line next month will be done as a collaboration with a St. John artist. I'm going to keep the artist's name secret for now, but he is a very beloved artist from St. John. He loves poetry, and we're excited, very excited to do our Rhyme and Line as a collaboration with his first showing here at the gallery. So keep an eye out for the announcements on that. Okay, one last thing before we get into what we actually came here for. So, here at Rhyme and Line, we have a procedure for content warnings for works that contain themes or depictions that members of the audience may want to skip out on. At Rhyme and Line, our first priority is creating an environment where we all feel safe and comfortable sharing and engaging with poetry as an art form. In keeping with this, content warnings allow for listeners to decide whether they want to engage with content they may find triggering. For works that contain overt sexual acts, overt or implied instances of self-harm and suicide attempts, overt or implied physical violence, and overt or implied instances of abuse, we ask that performers start their performance by giving a content warning that states which of the previous is in the poem, followed by a short pause of maybe 5 or so seconds, so that those in the audience that may need to can choose whether they want to stay and encounter that content. Now, so long as each performer's work isn't overtly violent in nature and it's not inflammatory to any historically excluded or marginalized groups, we don't really do bans on subject matter or content here. It's just that, and we don't want to limit anybody's creativity or ability to express. It's just we have a responsibility to keep this space safe for everybody that's engaging with the works here. Is everybody okay with that? Yes. Okay, so we're going to get right into the poetry. Our first poet of the night is Jack.
On time, Jack.
Good evening, everyone. Hi. My name is Jack, and I have a poem for you. Just tell you a little bit of a story. It's titled "Oh Dragon," and I was okay with going first tonight for the first time because this is the first thing that I've written that made me start to take writing seriously, actually. So I want to thank everyone that is here tonight to support release the book and the artists, because you guys are awesome, the space is awesome. I will get it started. So I do want to give a content warning for implied violence and overt references to offensive violence literature. O dragon, with scales that smell of cedar, I bow before you, or I would, if not for the bindings I find about my hands, my feet, my neck. O dragon, with a spine of oak and iron, I beg for your mercy, or I would, if I believed that you shared my tongue or my heart. Your servants did not. O dragon with great white wings, I wonder why you swing and choose not to fly, or I would. But the air in your belly is too heavy to ponder such things, too thick with the suffering of my brothers. O dragon, master of the horizon and the great sea, I offer you a song and dance of praise each day, or I would. But the ones that serve you allow no demand it, a dance that is, but once a week. O dragon whose blood runs thick and black like tar, I hear your groans echoing well into the night, and I will heal you. And my son both, he is tied about 3 rows behind me, or I would. But you've taken me far from my home, my herbs, my elders. Let me speak to him. What does an alien dragon need with 200 men? O dragon who swallows men and breaks them, I admit defeat. To cast myself into the ocean when next the sun kisses my face, or I would. But your servants grow weaker, and they no longer laugh and sing as they go about their business on your back. Their faces grow ever more pale, and the ancestors have whispered to me, I place the food in my belly. O dragon, whose heart is decked with tiny flames that dance behind glass, I will bury my son. He no longer answers my cries, nor do any of the others who share my tongue. For I would, but I fear that my strength will fail me before I can. My spirit flags with each passing day, and the man whose arm is chained to mine has begun to rot. O dragon who is taking my son from me, I will speak to your servants and ask them to see reason. A final attempt at peace, or I will. But I still hear the screams of our wives and sons and daughters that continued after they were dragged out of sight. Your men do not realize that we have learned your tongue. They are as foolish as you. O dragon, who has consumed my son and my heart with him, your servants say that we are nearing Cuba. I will kiss the earth when I touch your nest and savor the grass between my fingers. Or I would. But my brothers and I are of one accord. You and your men will never see land again. O dragon, littered with the bodies of the dead and dying, whose boards now groan under glowing flame, I will tell my ancestors of you, or I would. But I will not leave my father and his father next life. I will not run and hunt on the plains with them, for I will die far from home, far from sacred lands, far from the rights of love and life and death. But so will you. O dragon, mindless god of rage and hate, whose final journey ends today, I will offer you death rites to your servants that you killed, or I will. If you cannot throw them all overboard, as they did to my son and the others who did not live to see you burn. The fire that we lit in your belly rages on, and you will go smiling, standing on your back, because we have overcome you. O dragon, that spirits men across the sea, rest eternally in her depths, with my brothers and me. Thank you.
Great job, Jack.
Thank you so much for starting us off, Jack. And the poem that he just read is in the poetry anthology. Again, they are on sale for $25. There was one other person that I forgot to give a huge thank you to, and that is Mr. Bill Stelzer. He is the one that really took the work by the poets, the editing and organizing that me and David did, and put it together into the book that you have before you. So a huge thank you should also go out to Mr. Bill Stelzer. So, up next, we have a good friend of the gallery, Katie.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Raven. Thank you, David and Priscilla Knight. Thank you, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here. So my name is Katie, and I am reading a poem I wrote a couple years ago called The Shit I Don't Understand. So I was 40 years old at the time. I am now almost 42, and unfortunately not a lot has changed. I always assumed as I got older that a couple of things would change. One, I assumed as I got older that the age group of the men I'm attracted to would also get older. That, in fact, did not happen. I am a 42-year-old woman still hopelessly attracted to 28 to 34-year-old dudes. It's in the poem, Nyda. I was 40. The second thing I assumed would happen is that the amount of shit that I didn't understand would decrease, right? Like the men's ages would get older, and then I would know more, so that would decrease, right? That did not happen. Some myth about with age comes wisdom. I am a 42-year-old woman with an incredibly long list of shit I still don't understand. So I've made an actual list. It's not exhaustive, but as I read through this list of stuff that I don't understand, if you also struggle with understanding this, can I hear some snaps or something that lets me know I'm not alone? Is that okay? So here we go. I don't understand why Pluto is not a planet anymore. Pivotal to my I don't understand the door close button on elevators. I have timed it, there's no difference. I don't understand how tides work, specifically in relationship to the moon, because the moon seems really big and far away, and the tides are, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand why a Starbucks small drink size is called a tall. I don't understand how health insurance works, or sometimes it feels like it doesn't. I don't understand why love ends. I don't understand exactly how love begins. And I don't understand my mom. Let's take the last three. I don't understand how love ends. When does friendship turn into feuding? When did desire turn into disdain? When did passion become passive consent to use our bodies to fulfill needs? Needs like the dishes need washing and the laundry needs folding and the trash needs taking out. We used to fuck each other like we needed each other's bodies to breathe. When did we trade that passion into an item on the chore list? When does intimacy fade into indifference? And I think it's the indifference part that has to hurt the most. Like that indifference that isn't even a surprise at the other woman, because there has been so many other women. That indifference that isn't hurt by the broken promises, because you didn't believe him when he spoke the words. Maybe I don't have to understand how love ends, to know that when it has ended, don't stay. I equally don't understand how love begins. When did my name on your lips become the most beautiful sound in the world? When did your voice become the first thing I want to hear in the morning and the last thing I want to hear at night? When did your touch become this flame that burns into my skin and leaves a raging fire everywhere you caress? When did my lover become my love? We agreed to friendship with a side of benefits. Sticky, delicious benefits. We had a plan, and love was not in it. Who is to blame for this intoxication? To be clear, I blame your beard oil. The beard oil that buckles my knees, the scent of you is burned to my senses. It doesn't have to make sense. I only know I woke up one morning last month in the middle of love, despite my best intentions. I don't understand my mom. I do know that she loves me as much as she can love, or as much as her religion and her politics allow her to love me. 2 years later, that hasn't changed. I just don't understand when her love stopped being unconditional. But maybe I don't have to understand her to love her back. Maybe I don't have to understand her to grieve the relationship I wish we had. So maybe with age does come wisdom. And maybe wisdom isn't understanding. Maybe wisdom is being okay with what we don't understand. With the unknown parts of my life and others' lives, with the unspoken heartbreak of love that ends, the mystery of love that begins, maybe not understanding is as much my friend as clarity. This is the start of a joint comedy. Unscrew my pole. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes. Can we get a round of applause for our house band and the tech team? Not only are they our house band and tech team, my lovely mother, Pamela, is also in the anthology. We're very thankful for what you guys have brought to Bryan. You really helped elevate this space with your music. Thank you for being here. So, up next, we have another good friend of the gallery. This person has permanently locked themselves in as number 3 whenever we have a round in live. We have Nyda.
It's perfect.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Good morning. Happy tomorrow. Happy yesterday. So I thought really long and hard about whether or not I was going to read this poem again. And I realized I have not read this poem again since the very first rhyme and line I was here, and I performed this poem. And I was flipping through the book, and I forget which tree I submit to reading. But I'm happy it was this three. And trigger warning for profanity and sexual assault. I'm not the same person I was when I wrote this. And so when we do the second round, the poem after will, play on, but I think it deserves to be heard live again. Page 74 in your books, in your pamphlet, hymn children. Fuck it. This is not a love poem. This is a fuck poem. This is for the bleeding hearts and broken promises. For the nights they held our hands and the mornings they forgot our names. For those that feel the sting of lovers that change their minds and friends that betray us. Salvation is for the victims, and we are the villains in this tale. Fuck them. I have fed bitches I should have poisoned. I have saved lives I should have let die. I have given rides to those I should have left walking. I have been the unseen wind uplifting of birds that didn't know how to fly. Fuck them. To my ex, fuck you. To my ex-friends, fuck you. To the friends that tried to rape me, fuck you. To the mutual friends that don't want to get involved in pigsties because it's not our beef, right? Fuck you. Inaction in a conflict always results in siding with the aggressor. My truth was never told. I was silenced on the chopping block with one phrase. Stop being so dramatic. Dramatic? Me? When they call me dramatic, what I hear is, shut up. It's not that bad. Stop talking about it. Nothing happened. You were lucky. You just want attention. It's your fault. You never should have been there. Dramatic is your attack on my mental health. Dramatic is your avid manipulation to isolate me. Dramatic are the lies you tell. Dramatic are the lies you tell. Dramatic are the lies you tell. Dramatic is the silent treatment and every overreaction to my even, clear tone, my tone, now devoid of inflection, because in order for me to be taken seriously, I have to be void of emotion. Understand that tone policing is another form of gaslighting, and God forbid me from being just another hysterical female that you can write off. No, this is not a love poem. This is a fuck poem. Dramatically fuck you, dramatically fuck him, dramatically fuck her, dramatically fuck them, dramatically fuck this, dramatically fuck us, dramatically fuck me. Dramatically.
Of having people send in poems, I distinctly remember what to send in, and I was specifically requested that one. Thank you so much. That poem is a gift, and you are a gift. So, up next, we have Andy.
Good evening. Tough act to follow. I did enjoy all the poems. I'm a sucker using myself, so I hear you. Anyway, the spirited moment that we're turning to the first poem. This is more about my wife and I have been for a long time, and we're very happy life here. Although we have this great life, we've had tragedy. And tragedy is probably part of everybody's life at some point. So ours occurred when our daughter Ruby died in a car crash in Washington, D.C., born little girl, who in her senior year, with a friend, passed away. When you are a family and you have hope and dreams, you just feel like everything's always going to be great. Tragedy enters into it sometimes. So this poem was written after we lost our daughter Ruth. Years have passed, but my memory lasts. Time has grown old as years march past. Deep in my heart, a sorrowful song still plays. With words and rhythms, it saddens the face. No longer tears moisten my eyes. Only my sorrow now secret. Once a happy young family of 5. It was never a question that always survived. Till that cold morning, when her last breath escaped. Did I understand pain, sorrow, how it was shaped. No longer on the veil of innocence, our family can depend. For death, dark shadow has signaled its end. I long for answers as to why Ruby was taken. My faith and optimism so deeply shaken. The march of the living does not count those that is left. But my heart and my mind are still very good. With age and wisdom, my mind has come to reason that death and loss has no season. With fear and anxiety, I carry thoughts of darkness, only to be saved by the reality and its happiness. So I suffer, I may, from the loss of my Ruby. She is still so much a part of all that is me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's what I love about poetry. There's no end to the intensity of emotions that you're able to express, the stories that you're able to tell. That's kind of why I like to incorporate poetry into my grief work and things like that. I hope that we can arrange it so that you can join us, Andy. I'm sure you have a lot to add to the discussion there. We'd love to have you. I'll make sure to get the dates out to everybody once I have them. So, up next, we got a face of the gal we haven't seen in a minute. I'm excited to see what he has for us. We have Omar.
Y'all feeling good tonight? Such amazing talent in this place. Such amazing talent in the piano. Nyda, I'm a big fan of yours.
Love you.
So good. We're in challenging times right around the world. Things are changing. Governments are changing. And there's some fear around all that for some of us who are more likely to be affected. And I felt the anxiety of it. I don't know if anybody else did. And every time we ask, the universe answers, and we ask, God answers. And so the encouragement that I receive is to not be afraid. Everything that is supposed to be happening is happening. And even if it's just to open our eyes, I think a lot of us have been awakened, aware of what has always been. And so, I'm going to do this one. Lord, how are they increase that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many are they that say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, are a shield for me. You're my glory, the lifter up of my head. Thou, O Lord, are a shield for me. You're my glory, you lift my head. Thank you for lifting. Thank you for lifting. Thank you for lifting my head. Thank you for lifting. Thank you for lifting. Thank you for lifting my head. For thou, O Lord, are a shield for me. My glory, the lifter up of my head. Thou, are a shield for me. You're my glory, the lifter up of my head. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that sets themselves against me round about. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people sets themselves against me round about. For thou, O Lord, are a shield for me. You're my glory, the lifter up of my head. Thou, O Lord, are a shield for me. You're my glory, the lifter up of my head.
Thank you so much, Omar. It's always a gift when we can get some of our multi-talented members of the community here. So up next is me. I wrote a couple. I think I'm only really going to do two, unless there is somebody that wants to do a collaborative poem that we wrote together. No pressure. You don't have to. Okay, we'll do it later. 4 donkeys along the roadside, followed by a long line of blues, browns, and green. A line of jeeps with smartphones filming, pinpointed focus, and trampling over lands and people with little patience. Funny thing is, we're all the donkeys being taken for a ride, swallowing pride like a shot of 151, turning remaining land to lots so the jeeps keep rolling, and the seas churn like stomachs full of bile, filled to the brim with bleached bodies and regurgitating trash and smothered animals. To some, it's a minor price to pay for a goddamn donkey. Okay, this one I wrote a couple days ago. It's called Baby Doll. The cloth doll on my grandmother's shelf teems with beauty and mystery. She's missing one eye and her lashes are frayed, but her loveliness shines all the same. Doll making is both art and therapy. Your hands can craft perfection and sew away sorrows. You may even keep a small cloth record of who you wish your daughters to be. She can never talk back. She can never disappoint. She will never run off with that nasty boy you don't like. You can make her sing. You can make her dance. Any flaw she has is easily mended. She can never fill you with regret. She is love, and she is none of the sad things that make us human. She will never let you ignore. She will let you ignore your own frailty and humanity. While I love the cloth doll on my grandmother's shelf, I'm choosing to chart my own path, a life that's flawed and messy, just like me, imperfect but beautiful all the same. As I leave her behind, I trip over a single brown button eye in the hallway, and I smile. This one doesn't have a title, it's just numbered, 231. Passing through a community packed too much into too little. A place with so little green space, kids play ball in the streets. A place of boarded windows and bullet-hole doors, and generations of family grasping for assistance. The man with a fancy watch and pretty car peers out the window to say, how could anyone live here? I peer too and hear children's squeals, grannies bowing, and banging hammers making repairs. So I say, but they do, and life continues. All right, so we gotta do the big introduction every time. Up next is my favorite poet in the gallery, Mr. Geography, Money Man, Grammy, what's the one for actors? What's the word for actors? Oscar award-winning actor who just don't know it yet. Yeah. Your tour guide for South America. Editor, photographer, plumber, electrician sometimes. I can't say that one. Only Priscilla can say that one. Thank you, Priscilla. David Knight Jr.
Ooh, so many names.
Which one do you feel like today?
Just David. Just David.
Come on. You say no one.
Wow. I'm not going to pontificate too much tonight before we get into my reading here. Just want to thank so many people. As I was going through the book, I saw that this rhyme and line was founded in 2019. I want you to take a minute and think about what your lives were like in 2019, how much it had changed, how
but you have changed, and yet here we are, and some people who have been here from the very beginning, and that's got to be worth something. That's really has to be worth something. I want to thank the Thomas and his Sons for the Arts for helping us fund this poetry book. I want to thank Jamaica Hamilton for founding the Rhyme back in 2019. I want to thank Phillips for her stewardship since 2021. I want to thank the band from Broheem with Love for being our house band for so many years. There at the bar for the design work. Everybody past and present who's worked at Bottle of Soul and has supported this event, and the audience members and the poets who come all these years later. It's pretty amazing. Like I said, I think it counts for something that we're all still doing. But I do two poems. I got one from the book, one new one. This is the poem from the book. It's called The Poorhouse is Opulent. Today, the poorhouse is opulent and startling. Bewildered in renamings, wrapped in inflexible pride. After all, someone has to keep an eye on architectural standards. Lines of taxis move with slow, good-natured banter, buying up land frantically. By the mahogany beds, our books barely manage muffled gestures of futility. So much for cooperatives of cousins, they sigh. So much for basket makers and their infinite tolerance. So much for undaunted sinewy newspapermen born of the worst conditions. You can't predict when society will take a holiday, but at least in the slight droop of our generations, our every impurity is visible, and our fresh silvery wounds unexpectedly glittered. I got one that's been in my pocket all day.
Wait there.
Pocket hole. This one's it. Doesn't have a name. This is neither a lesson in clarity nor impossible to understand. The days here so swollen with silent rain that the muttered threats of jeeps seem lucid. The old people say it will take time to find a new language for the spools of rusted barbed wire that cascade down the hills without memory or meaning, the delicate lights of the Queen's old city that sparkle like broken colored glass. And it's true, the sweet aroma of every mango requires its own new words. And it's as if every stone house on the street, abandoned in mid-construction, is just a matter of finding the right words.
And I make the same joke every time because I can. I'm allowed to say that he's my favorite poet because he signs my checks.
Disclosure, that's all.
We're transparent here. Buffalo Soul Gallery, nothing else. So, up next is a face that I love to see here at the gallery, even though she'll be walking in like 10 minutes after we finish. I'm really glad that she could make it here on time because one of her poems in the book is one of my favorites. So, up next we have Zarah.
It is.
But we made it. I'm not reading a poem from the book. I'm reading a poem that I like that took a long time to now find, but because the times are changing, and it's really disturbing, I think, for all of us probably here to we see war online, we see it all, but we're in this beautiful place, and it sometimes feels unfair that we are in this place that is so beautiful. It's a paradise. But we also, almost all of us, are part of this marketing of paradise. And I wrote this because I have also been part of that. And I always find myself having to take a picture without people in it. So that there's implications in that. And this is what that's about. When you take all the people out the picture, does it become yours? The beach is empty now. You can sink your teeth flag into it. You daydreamed of her beauty. You escaped from your dirty city. the stress of all your sins. You achieved, you need a new territory. You had to own a piece of her. You call her America's paradise. You can hide here. She's your side piece. You don't wife her. You try to make her into a possession to serve you. You pour concrete into her soft places. You demand more access, more ease, more use of her, a virgin. Now she's just your whore. She can't sparkle anymore. She dull. She too tough now. You're offended. No manners. You can't speak her layer tongue. The same spirit you were called by haunts you. She hot now. You throw shade. You can't take the heat. You reach for more. She swallows you whole. Cuts you clean out the picture. That's it.
And to be fair, I appreciate your presence here no matter what time you walk in. So, up next we have a face that the gallery has actually missed, and I'm happy that she's here. We have Jezellia.
Fortitude to breathe. I often like to just sit on a tree and allow its bark to penetrate my skin. I sometimes wonder if the tree's strength and permanence will ever penetrate my skin too. If I sit on it long enough, could I fully absorb and retain it? To not be easily blown away by just any gust from the east, and to acquire the fortitude, but perhaps never the desire, to continue to breathe. Oh, if I could be anything like a tree. That's it.
Thank you, Jezellia. It's important to note that there were poets of all skill levels included in this anthology. The one stipulation is just that you had to have come here and performed a poem between 2019 and 2023 in celebration of 5 years of Bryan and Mine. So thank you for blessing us. So up next we have a new face here at the gallery, Melissa.
Good evening. It's not on my bingo card to be up here tonight. And so I only have one poem in my phone that was written in a different time of my life. I was a whole different era. This one is entitled Living Shadow. Life here is like living as a shadow. You know you're there, you can see it, you can feel it, but you have cloaked me with invisibility. Or was it me? The connections once thought to be cosmically made were crafted in paper, slowly disintegrating between my fingertips. What do you know, really, living in a bubble of your own making, keeping everyone out, keeping me out? How can we sing? How can we dance? I'm but a shadow, following closely as always. As long as there's a little light, I'm there, stuck to you. No matter the storm, I know the sun comes out. It always does, just like me. So I wait. I wait in the waiting room of shadows. It is here I debate my purpose, my reason for being. I sit often in this feeling. More often than not, there is darkness. Shadows can play there, but they are seldom seen, for the sun always comes out, right?
Thank you so much, Melissa. That was a wonderful poem. This is your first time at the Mark Mike here at Rhyme and Lime, right?
Mike anywhere.
Mike Anywhere! Yay! Nice. That was a beautiful piece of work. We hope to see you at the next one. So, up next, I believe we have a Rhyme and Lime OG. Dr. Hadiya Stewart.
Maybe the clothes have memories lodged into the seams of the fabric, like sweat after work, food that mismouths and cum stains on a dress. Maybe the clothes grieve over the class warfare that make their bitter origins, and the needless consumption that drives our purchases. Or maybe they too, like us, lose memory to survive. Where does cotton store its guilt? Silk, does it have regretful days? Or are the clothes martyrs for love, worn imperial robes, and bloody economy? Are they our co-conspirators? Victims? Both, neither? We look mighty fine in our threads, and the buttons and the zippers will remember better than us what happened in the end. The cotton tree in my backyard haunts me with the beauty of her flower, so pleasant and so unassuming. And I'm intoxicated by the beauty of these pink petals and faint white streaks against the backdrop of green leaves and blue sky. And there's the stench of blood of all of those who once picked cotton that hangs in the air between us. Our ancestors exploited together, pit against one another as objects. I don't know if I could ever forgive cotton for our bloody history. And I hate this flower for being so simple and so wise. And it's possible that I hate myself for being the same and not being wiser than this flower, for being just a flower, born of and reproducing chaos, but capable of shame. And I want to ask this flower if she knows shame like I do. And I want to ask this flower if she looks at me like I look at her, and wonder how such brilliance sprung forth from traumatic crossings. But I don't, and I feed instead. And one day we will both return to the soil, dry up and hardened by life and subjection. And maybe then I will swallow my spit and my pride and ask cotton if she'll ever be my lover or my friend. And I have to say, like, part of the beauty of like the OG Rhyme and Lime is that it was a really traumatic time. There were, of course, the pandemic era, and the way that we all huddled on Zoom and really relied on our poetry to survive.
some of the alienation that came with really hunkering down and being in seclusion. But this one was penned in March of the pandemic, and so it was also a time when we were thinking through and feeling through transfer date. And for those of you who may not be from the Virgin Islands, that's when we were bought by Denmark and transferred to the United States of America. And Crujan Bolas and Croydaddy's I could pass something, right? These bomb-ass cutlasses, right? And I'm surprised I'm not wearing one today, but this poem was in honor of the cutlass. Some of us are blessed to know that flesh buzzes with remembrance, and the hum of luck is its own sustenance. And some of us are blessed to know that there is love in the apocalypse. Intimacy survives transfer, and the theory of earth does not diminish our shame when we choose alienation over peace. The hermit crabs continue to burrow in the sand, and maybe this won't be forever, but some of us are blessed to know timelessness and non-linearity. In the wars for progress, oh Egun, can you hear me? If so, tell me something about luck and futurity in spite of death. Tell me something about survival and intimacy that defies chaos. Tell me how it is exactly that some of us see beyond reality. Because today, in times of transfers and pandemics, I settle and become salt to our wounds and feel the living and the dead together like a tender bruise on my flesh acutely. And my belly boils over with something guttural. I named it after the empire. I named all of it after Denmark and America. The corpses, the shrapnel, the virus, the villas, the stench of unforgiving, the perpetual war, the unbearableness of being their subject. Rage is the distance between who I want to be and how I survive as the colony, living dead. Oh, Egun, I don't want to feast on anger forever. I don't want to be a hungry zombie in precarious times. Egun, fashion me an amulet to survive the evil of capture, of being dragged across my mother Yamaya in the belly of a ship, an amulet to ward off dispossession, an elusive freedom, and 7 flags, an amulet to erase hesitation and overcome fear, an amulet to prevent me from striving to be like my oppressors, an amulet to assist us as we tend to the dying amid pandemic, an amulet to survive hurricanes and months at home without power, and centuries of praying for the end of the apocalypse. Will I be human after? Are we humans now? Is it the hierarchies that turned us into something other? Or were we always non-humans, being crushed under the colonizer's deeper desire? To become human, Egun, do you remember what we are? And can you remind me? Please shape the amulet like a potlatch, so that when I look in the mirror, I can see you strung around my neck and recount the years. 1493, 1733, 1848, 1878, 1892, 1915, 1972, my birth. Give me an amulet so that I can time travel and come to now, knowing what it is to claim freedom, because so-called animist savages do not respect finitude. And I want to be your dream, not your assimilated nightmare. Tell me what you need from me, Egun. I am no respecter of time or history. Fuck the colonial order. I can be a heretic or a prophet or both and build altars in the sand under the secret trees for you, Egun. And for all of the Orishas and Zemis too. So Egun, give me the cutlass as an amulet, a symbol of your enduring love and a vehicle for sovereignty. An amulet for the possibility of peace and a portal to free worlds. Tell Ogun to help you do this one thing for me, your children of the dirt, for me, for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Hadiya. So, fun fact, the title of the anthology comes from one of Hadiya's poems, one of the poems that was submitted. And I love that talk of Cutlass as an amulet. I have it as a ring and I wear it purposely on my ring finger. So shouts out to Hadiya for Up next, one of multiple partners in crime for me, Khalarni.
Good night, everybody. Alright, so this one is called German Shepherd. It's also in the book. So I wrote this a few years ago when I kind of learned how to tame the beast that is in my mind. So yeah, I was practicing like meditations, affirmations, and then things really started to flip once I read this book called The Four Agreements. I'll let you guys read it. Alright, so this one is called German Shepherd. I was higher than the sun when I realized that me and my mind were not the same. And definitely not always on the same side. Something about that space and time that allowed me to reconnect with the great divine. I learned that my mind was like a German Shepherd. A German Shepherd that needed to be trained and groomed and saturated with love, or else he'd be doomed to bark at every stranger that crosses the street, or crosses my heart, or crosses me up in basketball. My German Shepherd, left untrained, would chase his tail over and over and over until he'd be too tired to chase anything at all. And so there began my training. I would start every morning with positive sayings. Khalarni, you are smart, you are wise, you are worthy, you are kind. And each time I began to believe myself just a little bit more. My daily interactions engulf captions from the Four Agreements. Now my promises are impeccable, my psyche impenetrable, meaning any negativity you spout from your mouth, I refuse to take it personally. I assume with less urgency, but ask several questions to satisfy my mind's many suggestions. But when these suggestions bark too loud and begin to shout, as they often do, I say, sit down. Good boy. Good. Thank you. Okay, so this one is called Cut You Off. The story is not toxic. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's my fault. Well, kind of yours too, but mostly mine, I guess, or all men or mankind, if you will, or you could say society or the Bible, I guess, but look, it doesn't matter. Let me just try to explain what causes opposite sex things in our relationship. For me, I think it started on the playground. You know how brute strength and speed and self-forged confidence got me first row seats with the in crowd. Or maybe it was before that. Like when I was old enough to open my first birthday presents. And without hesitation, I annihilated all the boxes, fast-forwarded through the cards that were attached, and teared open my toys to my family's expression. Boys will be boys. So you see, I didn't mean to cut you off. I've just been training my entire life to fast forward through anything thoughtful. Like many men before me, I stumbled through, masking my misinformation with a mighty smile or a mighty frown. And like many men before me, speed and unwavering decisiveness has always been my clutch. And this is why I cut you off so much. I say, let's go, and you say, where are we going? I get up with excitement and say, let's get it, and you ask, how exactly should we go about it? Truth is, you ask all the right questions, and living with you is like a lifetime of lessons. I know sometimes I speak first and last and often, but I'm trying. Trying to redefine the parts of me that instinctively
diminishes the greatest parts of you, and I'm learning that the greatest things take time. As I learn to treasure the time it takes to untangle your truth, all of it. So I didn't mean to cut you out.
Thank you so much, Omar. I swear, y'all inspire me to actually memorize my poems. 2026. I'm going to memorize my poems in 2026. 2026, I promise. So, up next, we have another contributor to the anthology, my mother, Pamela.
So I'm not reading from the anthology because my poems in there is kind of long. There's really no title to this. I'm just going to call it The Barge Ride. You know, when you're stuck on a barge, sometimes you write, sometimes you read, sometimes you sleep. As I deep clean the spaces of my memories, these walls are empty. My voice echoes and returns all the broken promises and lost opportunities. It's cold in here. I'm forced to imagine what it would and could look like if I remodeled. Now it's scary in here. I see the ghosts of my protectors. They send me messages in my slumber. Protect your heart, protect your heart, protect your heart. The bricks of stonewalling are strong and sharp here. The words, I'm fine, became my affirmation as well as my deformation of character. I am not okay. And the more I say it, the less I trust my own thought process. Because not only am I lying to you, I am lying to myself. The cement that binds us is a combination of tears, fears, broken promises, lost hopes, invalidations, rejections, self-doubt mixed with childhood trauma. Ain't nobody getting in or out of this bitch. But a sprinkle of lorazepam, dust can temporarily make this room like an oasis. Our adults failed us in this room, but we as adults are responsible for changing the decor. As a child, I learned that silence can actually be the music to my ears, and the stone wall that I thought kept me in prison actually had doors and windows. You have the option to walk or climb out and live. The fight or flight mode in most of us is not just a trauma response. It's an escape pod to sanity. And sometimes you have to just be ready to just hit that eject button and go. Pick up your thimble, roll the dice, and just go. Don't look back. Don't collect $200. Just go.
Thank you so much, Shani. That is beautiful. Everything that I am is thanks to her. Can we give her another round of applause?
She ready? She ready? Yeah, man.
We just gotta forget. Okay, so a little bit about this poem. We wrote this poem together in Okay, correction. Hello? Testing. Hello? Is this better? No. Oh, okay. So I just checked. So this is a poem that me and Nyla wrote in 2021. This was the first duet that I'd ever done before. Yeah. We have not performed it since. I'm really glad that we planned ahead. Like, we have it set up with the colors, and so we know who doing what. So I'm glad to be able to do this poem with you again. So the title of this poem is Close Prayer. My edges laid,
my waist
snatched, my bills
paid, my vibe
unmatched. I thank the great mother of hoes and bad bitches. Her abundant blessings keep giving and giving.
Because in the beginning, I could be fucked with, was on some simp shit. I hated this thick. But then the great mother stepped in.
Now I'm with my bad bitch. To know her is to know my own worth. So from this day forth, I start my days with this affirmation.
Competition.
Dead it.
Compromise.
Done it.
Authenticity.
Do it. Every damn day.
We give no power to bad blood or fake friends, because the real ones will always be there, and a glow up is the best revenge.
I thank you, great mother, for reminding me that defeat comes the second you decide to compete. Another woman's blow will not stop my shine, because she was sent another path from the great divine. We do not compromise.
Because it undermines what we want, deserve, and need. And no person truly for you would ask you to forsake what you believe.
So may they caress and undress you.
But don't let these fuckboys finesse you. And don't ever let a bum bitch or a bum nigga disrespect you. In Megan's name we pray.
Thank you, beloved. Okay, so now we're at the point in the night where we open up the microphone. If there's anybody that went once but has something else they want to share, if there's somebody that didn't sign up, checking in with the guy in the gray shirt with bear on it to see if he had anything he wanted to read.
Is that a no? Little courage?
Does he have something that he wants to read? No? Okay, no problem. Okay, so is there anybody else here? Because otherwise, Nyda always has something for us. Oh, wait. You want to go? Okay, Nyda, let's let this new person come in and we'll have you. Broheem and Pamela for providing such a gorgeous night for all of us. I've never performed this as a poem before. It's actually just a song, but it originally started as a poem. What was that? Oh yeah, I could sing it. I think I'm going to try to sing the chorus a little bit for you guys. But kind of a funny way that this song started. Sometimes I'm sure all of us as artists get this feeling where it's a lightning strike. You know, the idea kind of comes through and you almost can barely harness it. And so this song actually just kind of, I feel like, exploded out of me. And I actually wrote it on a bill that I had in my room. And it's funny, I always end up looking back because all my songs are written on pages. This one is written on this bill. I feel like it just kind of speaks to the nature of this song. And like anybody going through something, anybody who is struggling with imposter syndrome, being neurospicy, being a little different in this world, and trying to find
backgrounding. So I'm going to try to do it. I've never done it as a poem, but thank you guys for supporting me coming up here. I appreciate it. My name is Alicia, so thank you. I'm going to try to say it, I think. Yeah, sometimes it's like I can't kick over the start. Even when my head starts to hurt, it's all crashing in, don't know where to begin. Maybe I should phone a friend. Maybe they should help me remember when I could form a thought without these voices in my head interrupting, bustling, pushing, shoving, stop. Searching for some peace and quiet. Yeah, I need to try it, find it, mind it, before I go out of my mind, yeah. 'Cause there's better days ahead, gonna get there if we keep keeping on. Better days ahead, I promise you won't have to go it alone. Take it one step at a time and hold on tight to your mind. 'Cause there's better days ahead, better days ahead. Anxiety taking over me, blinding me from my dreams, but hold back and pulling back from my bindings. Feels like I'm constantly swimming upstream, but that's what it's like, this sort of thing. Hard to imagine, yeah, the gradient's steep, but yeah, that won't stop me. So I'm grinding, digging in my feet, pointing myself to reach a whole new me, because that's what I want you to see. What's inside, what's blinding me, but this stress keeps compressing me, blinding me from my dreams, but hold back and pulling back from my bindings. Because that's what it's like, this sort of thing. Hard to imagine, yeah, the gradient's steep, but yeah, that won't stop me. Because I'm grinding, digging in my feet, reaching myself to reach a whole new me, and that's what I want you to see. What's inside, what's underneath, the stress and pressure compressing me. 'Cause there's better days ahead, gonna get there if we keep keeping on. Better days ahead, and I promise you won't have to go it alone. Take it one step at a time and hold on tight to your mind. 'Cause there's better days ahead, better days ahead. Better days ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. And we hope to see you at our next round of Thank you for joining us. So, Nyda, you ready for us? I think the better question is, are we ready for Nyda?
Yeah! All day, every day.
So for many of us have done, we started 2019, and it was just a little hobby, a little thing to pass the time, something to do, get out your house. So this one is called Hobbies. I want to take a painting class, specifically finger painting, or maybe oils, I'm not sure. All I know is that art should get your hands dirty. I want parchment against the walls and canvas on the ground. I want my fingers to cramp. I want mugs of mixed brushes fitting my windowed sink. I want to question if the murky liquid is stale coffee or forbidden drink number 6. I want to mindlessly trek down a beach, collecting small pieces of dirt and to fashion an altar for art. I want the sweat and the grime, the feel of being alive, the feeling of being free, the violence of creation, of exploration, the orgasm of creativity. I want to take a painting class. I got time to post one, right? I went to Korea and I got tacos, man. This one's called Mr. Clark. Woo! Wow, honey, thank you. Your intensity and speedy assurance of investing into the building of our communication is like drinking expensive cognac on an empty stomach. You intoxicate me. You make me believe in all the fairy tales I read as a child of how men are supposed to be. You terrify me with your quiet confidence. Your very existence is rewriting my brain chemistry. Know that in barely 4 days you have bulldozed through walls of my heart's defenses. I can see my whole world changing for the better by simply having you in it, and we haven't even physically met yet. I don't even know your last name. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't want to punish you for the actions of others. Just be your wonderful, kind, patient, and responsible self. And let my trust for you blossom like an orchid flower. Footnote. He blocked me. And then the only bust chest, I'm like, what? The man blocked me after all of that. He's like, oh, the man blocked me. I went to Korea. I come back to Korea. I tell him, you have a very lovely country. He says, you're here? I said, yes, I'm here. But you stopped talking to me, so I didn't tell you I was there. He blocked me. I must be happy to do it.
Wait a minute, you went to Korea?
I went to Korea. I did. I had things to do. He was a side. Wasn't talking to me, plan, everywhere. It is what it is. But for my guilty, because you're not your husband. Or your husband. I don't know if heart eyes are a real thing, but when I see you, it has to be. The way I just stop whatever I'm doing to admire you. I dare not compare you to the sun, although your aura is blinded. Rather, I compare you to the moon, your round cheeks and crescent eyes, the raspy rumble of your deep voice in my ear. Just the thought of you makes me smile. My heart beats like a mile, like an 808 drum on your latest masterpiece. My future will be more than okay because you're in.
Can you get that husband pregnant for me?
I could, but not today. This is to piggyback off of the first one. Where is it? Oh, there you go. It's called Perfectly Content. So we process grief differently as people, and sometimes when you're in a deep depression, people ask you, well, why didn't you reach out? Perfectly content. Why didn't you call? I'm perfectly content being away from you. Why didn't you check in? I'm perfectly content being away from you. No one has heard from you. I'm perfectly content being away from you. Why didn't you tell us you needed help? I'm perfectly content being away from you. We missed you at the function. You're done? I'm perfectly content being away from you.
Thank you, Nyda. So really quickly, the mic is still open, but I did want to take a moment to make a quick announcement. If any of you have family members that are in the Atlanta area, there's a young man from the Virgin Islands. His name is Bilal Muhammad. He has not been seen since Friday at 9 p.m. It's officially been 24 hours, and he has not been seen. The family is in the area. They are searching for him. If you have any family members or friends that are in that Atlanta area, kind of pull me to the side. I'll send you the post from his family. They have started seeking volunteers to help search for him, volunteers to hand out water, hand warmers, and things like that. just kind of grab me before you leave. I'll send you the flyer. Please share it with whoever you have that's in that area that is looking for him. That being said, is there anybody else that had something on their heart that they wanted to share? The one, oh, we got
Alright, I'll do one more. Alright, this one is called Who is Poetry? Poetry is knowingly ripping out a piece of your soul for the world to see and openly parading it on your shoulder sleeves. You see, poetry and vulnerability have the same address. You go down introspection lane, make a left at shame and doubt, and one more left down
you sprinted to an audience just above the purview of the great host. Even then you outpaced me. You knew which turns to take. We heard the rain before we felt it. You kept going because there were only so many times you'd get caught. So many shots you could take. So many shots you could miss. You almost made it dry. You still take every shot you're given. You have so many to choose from. That's one of very few weaknesses, that bravery that continues to serve you well. But you've always believed you could do the impossible, even with my natural hesitation, you've always been the one to say, jump, anything. It may have popped a ligament or two, but there are no regrets here. We've not always gotten along smoothly, but I've always trusted you, and with love and gratitude, welcome to Land's End.
Thank you so much, Kurt, for closing us out. So again, thank you so much to all the poets that have come up to the mic, all of the people that have come to support from the audience, the people that have supported from Zoom, supported from Facebook Live. I always say it means the world to me that you can be here, and I mean it every single time. It really does mean the world to me that we can come together in this space. This space would not be possible without all of you, so please give yourselves a round of applause. If you are a poet that was included in this anthology and you have not gotten your free copy yet, shoot me a message, we'll work that out with you. Another thank you to Mr. Bill Stouser for helping us put together the anthology. Thank you to David for assisting me with editing. Thank you to the poets for dealing with me being in your ass about submitting stuff. Thank you to the Lynch & Sons Foundation for their generous donation to make this book possible. If you would like to purchase a copy, we still have some. They are $25. And one more time, if you have family in the Atlanta area, and you're friends with Dara Manifa Cooper, she has the flyer on her Facebook. If you're not friends with her, again, please pull me to the side, grab me before you leave so that you can share that flyer. Bilal has not been seen since 9 p.m. on Friday. It is 30 degrees outside. It's very, very important that they have as much support for the search efforts as possible. Other announcements, again, on Wednesdays, all the way through February, the Gregory Project is hosting USVI art history classes. They are free at the St. John's School of the Arts. Please check out their Facebook, please check out their website, sign up, we would love to have you, and keep an eye out for announcements regarding the next Rhyme Month. Got a nice little surprise coming. So with that, thank you all so much for being here, and I'm going to bring back From Broheem with Love. Thank you.
study. Oh, I'm not actually in the book.
I know.
I